皆さんこんばんは。Buenas noches todos and good evening everyone. This is Imavik VTuber Disha with this week's assortment of fine stuff from Twitter today. Anyway, so here goes. Okay, I was planning on doing this last week, but I somehow forgot. So there are a couple of good stuff coming from World Baseball Tournament. And one of the kind of quote fancy of Japanese audiences, I don't know how much coverage they've got over here, which is probably close to none, but one of the teams that got the attention of Japanese was the Czech Republic, as it turns out. They were the third opponent during the preliminary round in Japan, and this was their first ever participation in the WBC. On the first historic game, they made 2 home runs, and they even made a comeback run on the top of 9th. Now the thing that caught Japanese audience, because these are Czech is the underdog of they were the underdog, and the stories they had was just as good as the Jamaican bobsled team in Calgary Olympics. Now, this was the first time ever playing in the large indoor domed baseball field, stadium, and there's no full-time baseball player. Yeah, and this was their first ever baseball TV broadcast live. No, not live, but this was the first ever TV broadcast baseball game in Czech. And basically, whether or not baseball would take hold in Czech was entirely up to these guys. Now, knowing that, would you cheer for them or not? Yeah, Japanese all did, apparently. And Newsies and others, they did all the coverage, and basically the first base. No, in the order of the batting, they were university student, and this one guy who actually had a major MLB experience, college student, salesman at the plastic manufacturing, baseball club director, baseball field groundskeeper / coach, one ex-pro, accountant at KPMG, the coach, and the pitcher is an electrician. Yep, there's a dream team, underdog dream team. There you go. So that's how the financial analyst is the, amongst other things, yeah. But yeah. There's underdogs and they were they did quite a bit, including the one who actually got a beanball from from Shohei Ohtani, and Ohtani was visiting them with a whole bag of Quara no Machi, like a big wad of it. Anyways, having said that, the time zone difference, because of time zone difference, you notice that the in North America, they kind of broadcast in a rather odd time, like 4 p.m. Starting at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you wondered why, that actually works out to be about morning time in Pacific region, at least in Japan, anyways. The next day. So here's the problem. Yeah, this guy has a friend who is a doctor, and he has a shift on the day of the game at the walking of his hospital. And when he checked in on his friend on Facebook, he had one comment on a Thursday morning. Yeah. Nobody has come in so far to see the doctor. Yeah, basically pretty much everyone who usually comes in, well, unless it's a do or die situation, nobody's coming into the hospital. They're watching the game. Well, at least that's what they thought, what I thought anyways. And then turns out, in the meantime, the day Japan won the WBC, okay, the final was training Samurai Japan. That was also training, and the fifth one in the sports section was waiting room in hospital. Turns out, all the most of the your local hospitals, they had all these grannies in the waiting room watching the game in the waiting room. So yeah, that's their style of public viewing, and they're being polite. They're very quiet till the last pitch. Yeah, when the Shohei struck out the last guy out. Then there was a huge uproar, and then everyone went home. Yeah, basically, these were a bunch of people who came in, and who were already seen by doctor were sticking around, apparently. And with that, not with WBC in relation, but then there was apparently Shohei Ohtani was doing an ad for cosmetics, and they had a huge banner of it in Sendai Station, but in the wrong way. Yeah, the Kore is cosmetic company, but the thing is, the comment here is like, Shohei Ohtani looks like one of those. The picture of him is being treated like one of those poster of the beloved world, the nation's leader of a dictatorship country. Yeah. In the meantime, let's see. Some local broadcast in Ishikawa Prefecture. They were covering the game, but the thing is, they were using a baseball board game, a toy, and recreating the situation in the game with a subtitle that actually said, "We don't have the budget. We have no budget to buy the footage. We apologize for any inconvenience." Yeah. Now, with April in full swing, one of the things that we get is the porn analogy, of course. It's that season of the year, and yeah, well, there's no more COVID, so no mask mandate in my neck of the wood, but yeah, back to wearing mask outside. Otherwise, I'd be sneezing and wheezing all the way. And apparently, Navy in Japan had this nasty way of one ship are recruiting right now with a Simpress sales catch. Yeah, so here is a sailor who has a porn analogy. Oozing. Oh yes. Excuse me, sailor. is heaven with no hay fever whatsoever. Are you serious? Come aboard sub. Oh yes! Now, right away. Yep, it's air conditioned, alright. It's just that there's also the most of the conventional propulsion system sub. The sub drivers, they usually end up picking up a smell of diesel because from the fume. So that's one downside, but apparently this is a time when they usually when some actually try to recruit the suckers onto the sub. And in the meantime, apparently it's pretty bad out there with the points. Someone was doing cherry blossom viewing, and this what they came across. That's not a paint on B. That's actually that's actually pollen he picked up, all of it. Okay, this guy is asking for advice. He was aiming for a room like a hotel, and what he's got was hostel room. Yeah. And most of... Yeah, that is hospital room, alright. Why does that look like after the protagonist died? Yeah. Oh yes, it's the perfect place to play doctor. I've always dreamed of the white hotel bed. Maybe you should put the bed against the wall. Put a carpet and maybe put an orange hue light, amongst others. Now, with that, okay, and then as for the hotels, there was apparently this hotel that actually has hot onsen, hot spring, private hot spring. The problem is, it was one of those that are too fancy to figure out how to get in. So he had to ask the hotel staff. Yeah, sure, where? Most tweets are going like, how about the pond on the right? Nope. Did you figure it out? There it is. Sign that says onsen. Hot spring. Nope. Nope. Hot spring? Yeah. Basically, it would help if you can actually even figure out where the hell the door is. So basically, 90% of the comment on this thread was, oh geez, it looks like a escape room. Yeah, it is too. They had basically it's a they had it. It's one of those bathroom where they can book for 15 minutes for their own. And let's see. Oh yeah. And they thought it was there's a bunch of people who actually saw it on the website, and they thought it was a Unity sample or something. Okay, cruise the sauna, and they also have a free drinks, water, milk, and beer. Yep. And apparently the same guy who had trouble getting in to the bath. Well, he also had the booked on a hotel that actually had. Okay, that's a lounge area. And how do you get to the room? Yeah. If you didn't see a sensor there, you can't even figure out where the hell where to go to. One of the trouble was getting too fancy, I suppose. Okay, I don't know if this actually made it to Otaku, any of the YouTube news channel, but shoot. Okay, excuse for a moment. Yeah, Kadokawa had this okay, this ANN, which I don't usually like to refer to, but then this was one of the first spot when I Bing searched. Yeah, was the condition anyways. Basically what happened was that the Kadokawa, the major publisher of, I'm not gonna even name, but then they had a hospital, not hospital, hotel, anime hotel built on, but apparently due to lack of a business, they were shutting it, Narita Anime Hotel, and they were shutting it down on May 31st. Yeah, and there's another one near the Narita airport. But they're all getting shut down, as it turns out. And the real quick response from the otaku was, okay, if it's an otaku room, why the hell would I want to pay money to stay in my own room? That was most of the complaints most geeks had. This is how it usually looks. This is how apparently how the room inside of the room looks like. Basically, each room actually they had a crab or the other like each room is decorated under one theme. Slayers. 熊熊じゃないか、ゆりか。And yeah, the outlet actually has USB LAN and HDMI terminals, and it hooks up to the giant projector. So there was some BL stuff, yep. Yep, the room actually doesn't come with a TV, it actually has a projector. And the wall is white, so it actually shows against that. Yeah, a certain railgun, I think. Cardcaptor Sakura. Yeah, there was actually a Cardcaptor Sakura event as well. Sona, was it? But yeah, apparently it was a nice hotel if you actually been there, not just sitting back and talking about it. Anyways, let's see. One of those here it would be a bit troublesome to just because it takes a hell of time to actually get the paperwork go through. Nissin now actually has, instead of a cup noodle by itself, a noodle of the noodles and what goes on top separate. So you can actually have any kind of combination you want. Not a bad idea, I suppose. And here's one of those cute one. This lady found little shrine that was dedicated to Inari, the divine fox, on the way to a supermarket from her place. And so every day she was praying that now that she has moved to a new town, and if possible she would like to live with a cat. And back then, she had all the cat rescue equipment in her backpack all the time. And one time she was actually talking about all that on Instagram Live. One of the her followers actually did say, there is I know a rescue group in Tokyo. And here's a kitty who was out of six litter of six, one that hasn't been adapted yet. So suddenly she's going into trial. So she offered her she reported to the Oinari-san and say the thanks, and that's how the life with the little kitty started out. And one thing she found out about her cat, Uzume, her cat, is that the sashimi, tuna salad, or even salmon, she tells the cat no, and the cat would obey. But for some reason, Inarizushi, she has to have it. So there's probably something funny. So she figured, the cat comes from the Inari shrine for sure. And there is Uzume-chan in real life, as it turns out. Nice. So she might be cat, but she might have come from the fox shrine. Okay, one of those photo this guy's friend sent in that is giving a concern, but still loves it. Guy, he just quit the job, and he's at a beach with all smile, and you see the writing in the back? It actually says uncertain. It doesn't sure looks that way. And here, okay, so it's this lady who has a hobby of piano and motorcycle. And the guy was the idiot enough to say, "Oh, wow, that's a bit of extreme ends, isn't it?" And she replied, "It's both Yamaha." Yep, that's for sure. And okay, he is a wood carving artist who does quite a bit of stuff. Actually, I'll show you afterwards, but he actually did a wood carved toast and wood carved coffee, amongst other things. And now he did something really stupid. He was making a wood carved soybean, and he accidentally mixed it up with the real one. Yeah, this one actually had all the entire set cracking up. Yeah. So basically, the artist is, just gave up, and he is going to find out by chewing on them. Yeah. And soybeans, if you put them in water, they'll sink, and wood should float, so you might be able to tell them apart. So there are couples that looked sus. The one in the circle and the one in pointer. And now they can't tell apart. Okay, in the meantime, all the thread is going like, okay, now you know how we felt like when you gave us a challenge, because that's the same guy who actually did. You notice up here? These are not French fry, but the deep fried sweet potato. And one of them was wood curved, and he actually did that exactly. Okay, which one of these are wood curved sweet potato? And okay, yeah, they finally figured it out anyways, but yeah, this is the kind of wood curving this guy does. There you go. And yeah, the first wood curving he ever did was a coffee bean, as it turns out. And he also found a way to make wood transparent. And these, okay, my God, these are all wood curved stuff. And apparently that's where the wood curved one was. Okay, as if I can figure it out. Oh shoot, no. Okay, this guy. Okay, this guy's follower he's got a question from his followers that says, what is the weirdest scientific report you have ever read? Well, it's something he read a couple years ago about the British researcher. Six British researchers try to see how long it takes for a Lego head to go through once the digestive tract comes out from the other end. So 6 of them, they actually swallowed a Lego head. And the problem is, one of them has not come out yet. The report said. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Okay, okay, I don't have that kind of voice, so I envy her. Okay, Okay, she was talking with her mom, and when she said that she was streaming on the net, everyone was everyone was complimenting for me for a nice voice. Basically, yeah, it runs in a family where if it goes through anything electronic, the voice becomes beautiful, as it turns out. And okay, if you're trying to draw if you're drawing if you're trying to draw a map on Japan, here's something to think about. Okay, the northernmost end tip of the island of Honshu is actually by far more north than the most southern tip of Hokkaido. Keep that in mind. Coming from the map company. Yeah, this was by far. Yeah. 今先だから。And also the same goes with the Kyushu and island of Honshu as well. Yeah, Kyushu looks to be more on the just all south of the Honshu, but not quite. And in the meantime, okay, here's an interesting one actually. Some of the island, westernmost end of islands in Okinawa is actually by far more south than Taipei, Taiwan, as it turns out. So that's some of the interesting trivia. Map anyways, and this one is most people are going WTF. Yeah, she left an entire head of lettuce in the laundry machine, and she turned it on. Well, she has this habit of putting on some stuff in the laundry machine, and she once washed an entire box of tissue paper as well. And yeah, basically, yeah, she actually got a tweet from the from Sharp that there is actually a cleaning service for a laundry machine from the manufacturer. Okay, Kenji Kawai. He's my favorite composer, as it turns out. Apparently, and he is one of the really fun. Actually, he's one of the funnest composers to read. If you actually have his physical CD, best to go check what he said about many of the musics he composed, because sometimes those are much funnier than the movie itself. Like including this one piece in Ghost in the Shell, where he was actually he actually had to play like almost half naked with a basically piece of loincloth to cover his front end of his lower body and nothing else, because it was apparently the string instrument he was playing was so tiny that he had to put it against the microphone, and if he played, it actually the microphone actually picked up the sound of his crow's rustling sound. So he had to shed all away. So amongst other weird stuff, he's done. But yeah, and Mina Tominaga from the Pat Neighbor, she actually did the narration. Yeah, because he did the movie and the TV, and I think he did the OAV as well. But oh, okay. Let's see. It. Oh my God, he did the Samurai Pizza Cats, and yeah, he did. Oh, he did Gundam Double O as well. Okay. And on the interview, he was going like, "What is the most difficult time when you're composing music for a movie?" When I couldn't figure what the director was saying. And yeah, basically, most people started thinking about a certain Oshii guy. Yeah, maybe that is what they're trying to suggest. But then there was also he actually did a piece for the for the very classic J Horror, The Ring. And the only time I noticed that it was his music was the ending song. And it turns out that he only did basically the order he's got from the director was to be cursed and very haunting. But he actually did get a, shall we say, a reference movie. A Swedish horror called Hospice, and he was saying on a CD booklet that the biggest problem is the movie contained no music. I think that's what he's referring to, but it could be very well be that Mamoru Oshii. Yeah. But yeah. So if you feel like it, just looking up. But sorry, do check out Pat Neighbor movie once, or this once, because and soundtrack, because that's why I fell in love with his music, where basically the music blends in with the thing, with the scenes that was used, almost 100%. So if you watch a movie and if you listen to a soundtrack afterwards, you cannot actually think of each music is so unique and so matching that you cannot think of anything else but the exact scene of the movie. And it's very, very satisfying in some instances, yeah. So do check out if you have time. Let's see. This guy just painted the Zaku in Gundam wrong. It turned out the had an interesting effect. No comment. MS girls, anyone? Yeah, there used to be something called the MS Girls, but This one, all they did was just paint one spot incorrectly, and that's all it took to get it all wrong. Okay, anyways, moving right along. Okay, this one. Okay, this lady's hubby, this woman's husband, who's actually a surgeon. He was actually freaking out. He couldn't he couldn't take out the fish, fuck from the fish he just caught. So she got pissed. Hey, you thinking something even more grotesque with humans? What the hell? Why are you so freaking out? What are you freaking out about? And her hubby's response was, can you get me an astrologist please? Yeah, he usually cuts up people who are knocked out, not live and twitching. Okay, anyways, the World Trading Center building of Tokyo, they are actually, it has been decommissioned and was slated for demolition. And it just became, it has become a monolith. Now, one thing with this place is that this also happened to have this happened to be where the monorail line from Tokyo to the Haneda airport starts up. So once the building went away, yeah, all they have is just a station itself sticking out. Which is kind of for most people, it doesn't kind of feels weird. Oh yeah, and the reason they have lines sticking out this way is because this is where the line terminates. So basically, a monorail coming in from the other side pulls after the passengers get out. They pull in here and then switches over to the other side. That's why there's an extra bit here. But yeah, this part was hidden in the building and it couldn't be seen till but now the building, the World Trade Center is gone. Japan is gone. Yeah, you can see it. At least for the next little while, anyway. So. Okay, and that'll do for today's showing of Show and Tell from Twitter. Thanks for coming in and have a good day. はい、じゃあご視聴ありがとうございました。